Hello everybody, I'm Jesse, and welcome to Avernum. This is a new series I'm going to try out. A little bit of the same idea as the Escape Velocity series, with like playing an older game, newer machine, having fun with it. As you can see down here, this game is copyright 2000. This is a pretty old game as well. The thing is, I was playing Escape Velocity, and that last mission that I was on it was to go prospect some lifeless planet somewhere, and I had to go through like all those systems. It was a long string just to get to it. I got blown up like four different times, reloaded every time, and when I eventually finally made it to the actual planet, I found that it was a pirate planet. There was a pirate base on that planet. So I rage quit. I'm just going to tell you I rage quit. And I was like, I'm done with this. That's how Escape Velocity works. And I was kind of done with it. But this, the Avernum series, is like a pure PC RPG. Think in the vein of Fallout or Ultima. It's a little more like Ultima, I'd say. It's a remake of one of my favorite game series, Exile, which is a very generic name, but it was a lot of fun. And it didn't have great graphics. It was a pretty funny looking tile set, but it was a great game. And I've played a little bit of the Avernum series. There's this one that was made in 2000. Then there's a series of, I want to say, 5 or 6 games of Avernum, and then now the developer Spiderweb Software is going back and remaking them, updating the engines and everything like that. But this is the original one because this is the one I own. I own the newer Avernum one on my iPad, but I wasn't gonna mess with the iPad to screen thing again since it had watermarks and nonsense like that. But let's get started. It's been a while since I played this game. A new game. Oh goodness, my first character's name is Philip. I have to do this, don't I? I have to do this. Yes. These are definitely the suggested party. I can pick some other things out. I can change photos and such. Pick new graphics and everything. I'm going to do that. This is going to be a fun one. We got Philip here. Philip the soldier. Do I want him? Do I want him to be? Do I want him to be a soldier? What do I want him to be? No, I'm gonna keep them the same classes, and I'm just gonna rename them. This is gonna be hilarious fun. Let's just pick new graphics though. There ain't too many graphics. Oh, I forget. This is in Avernum 1, you only have humans. So I guess everyone's going to be human. Okay, these don't quite match up, so let's pick the one that I want. Oh my gosh, those are so small. I can't tell. It's hard to tell what's human and not human. Alright, we're going to cancel. It'll just be the same him. We're going to change names, though. It's going to be Philip there. Pick new name. This, see, his character's name. I only have like one female character. And it's the wizard, so I'd want it to be the wizard. Oh, stretchy. Okay. Who's a rebel? Oh, I have to retype it in. Alright, I guess we'll put in, I want this one to be Luke. Except Luke is Luke will be the soldier. This one's the rebel. Philip isn't a rebel. You know who is a rebel? All right, this is tough. In case you don't know who these names are, why I think it's so funny that we've got Philip in here. These are characters that I've role played on Twitter. Names of characters. Philip is an Ampharos. Luke is a Gallade, but he might become a Meowstick forever. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Who's going to be the rebel here? And I'm going to switch them back up here. I like the order that they're in. The order is kind of important. Your characters act in a certain order. So this one's going to be... Luke. Oops, cancel. New name for the rebel. Rebel's going to be... the rebel is going to be a Wilberforce. The cleric... I'm going to have the cleric be Sigurd. That's almost a good enough picture for him. Sigurd's a male Gardevoir. And then the sorcerer. And none of them end up being Philip. Sorcerer. Never mind. Philip's going to be the rebel. Sorcerer is going to be in need. Yeah, this sounds good for right now. We'll go with this. Again, these little tiny characters, tiny character models. You can see why they like. The new one looks pretty good. This old one's kind of. Oh, I want Luke to be his big old black dude. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Go with that for him. There we go, Philip. You got a nice, jawline there. I still don't know about this one. Too bad I can't like import my own pictures. That'd be way cool. I'd just have them be the characters that pictures that I use for their characters. Yeah, that's good enough for him. And for a need, it needs actually a female, so. Sure, this will go great. You are never going to see sunlight again. You will never breathe fresh air, or be warm, or feel safe. That is your punishment. For your crimes, you are to be thrown into a magical portal and banished to Avernum, never to return. What was your crime? Not what you might think. Not murder or arson or crimes against other people. No, your crime was against the Emperor. Ruled by the cruel Emperor Hawthorne. You spoke out against an unjust law, or you angered some politician, or you may have just been a misfit. Not being able to fit in is a crime in the Empire. Thus you are sent to Avernum. It is not a different land. After all, the Empire controls the entire surface of the world. All 4 continents have completely submitted to its rule. No, Avernum is a series of caverns far below the surface of the world. It is a dark subterranean prison, a place where exiles like yourself spent the rest of their lives far from the light. What is it like there? Nobody on the surface knows. All they know is that it is dark and unpleasant and that it is a place to only be regarded with fear. Some people believe there is no air, warmth, or food, and death comes with merciful speed. Others believe that there is enough food to enable Avernites to endure a miserable, worm-like existence, until, of course, the monsters get you. And a few believe that Avernum is a paradise, a subterranean land of pleasure and relief, and of freedom from the Empire's iron rule. People mad enough to believe Avernum is paradise soon end up there themselves. They don't really know what it is like. Nobody on the surface does, but soon you will. There's no appeal to the judge's decision. Early one morning, in a lone stone building far from any city, you are taken to the teleporter. You breathe clean, fresh air one last time. Then they throw you in. Welcome to Avernum. Move around by clicking terrain or using the keypad. Using a laptop, I don't have a keypad. Oh dear. So, you sort of... Still stunned from your trip through the portal, you stumble down the rocky hill. As your vision clears, you look around the world of Avernum for the first time. You are inside what looks like some sort of fort. It is made of huge blocks of stone, roughly mortared together. Wood must be rare down here, only the doors are made of it. There are a few trees nearby, strange things, more fungus than wood. It's not as cold as you thought it would be. In fact, it's very warm and moist. The smell of sulfur hangs heavily in the air. There must be volcanic vents down here. Even though you're far, far underground, you can still see fairly well. The stone roof far above you is covered with a thick layer of glowing fungus, which bathes everything in a sickly greenish light. Thanks to this light, you can get a clear idea of your surroundings. In particular, you can see the small, pale man waiting at the base of the hill. He seems to be here to greet you. I have to actually click the talk button. I have to turn off that instant help. You meet a small man. He smiles at you nervously. His skin is incredibly pale in the strange light of the fungus. Why are you standing here? I wait for new arrivals, such as yourselves, and welcome them. He bows. Welcome to Avernum. So we're in Avernum? What's Avernum? Avernum is what we call this place. In days of old, Avernum was the name of the underworld, where lost souls were sent to be punished. Sort of makes sense. He smiles sadly. Why are you welcoming us? It's my job. I'm here to ease the considerable shock of being cast into the underworld, of course. So, welcome to the underworld. Pause to think. Also, I'm here to say where you can get information about Avernum and supplies. Information is always useful. Where should I go? Darrell is the town sage. He lives and works in the building just a little bit to the southwest. He's a bit glum, but he does his job well. He will answer your questions as best he can. Of course, you should get supplies first. Supplies? Someone will give us things? To prevent certain problems, new arrivals are sent to Tor to get modest supplies to support themselves until they find work. He's in the building to the south. We found doing otherwise results in desperate, dangerous, and violent new citizens. This way you'll have a fair chance. What you do with it when you leave here is your business. Which reminds me, be sure to see Thero for information. Also curious about this. Can I go back in the portal? I wouldn't recommend it. It's not a wise idea. Someone tried an experiment once. It was messy. Ask Asacia about it. She was there. I see. This game, doesn't quite have any, doesn't have any quest log or anything. You have to take manual notes. Very old school. Alright, well. And you have to actually, like, look at stuff. Where is the... Look. By proclamation of King Micah, there is no anarchy here. Those who harm others will be banished to the abyss or slain. See tour for supplies before you leave the fort. Let's look at my supplies. Nobody has anything except some food. I think food heals you in this game. Nope. You use 1 unit of food every time you rest. So this is a... I might just have to play the new version instead. Because this is really... It's going to be kind of clunky. But maybe not. Tour supplies. Alright, let's go in. Just opened a door! Oh my gosh! Thank you, help. Let's talk to this dude. There's a tall man sitting behind the counter wearing bronze armor. Behind him is a large crude rack of crude stone weapons. Who might you be? Well, sometimes I maintain the weapons of the guards, sometimes I guard Silvers going to Silvar, but mostly I give supplies to newcomers. The weapons need lots of maintenance. Looks back at them. Pretty crude work, huh? Metal is rare down here. Tools to work with it rarer still. And enchanted items? Good luck finding them. What's Silvar? It's the town to the west. You should ask Daryl about it. His office is in the next building to the south. You give me supplies? Tor nods and makes some notes on a scroll made of crude parchment and hands you several pouches. This is the starting allowance of all new arrivals are given to help them get established. We want you to become productive citizens of Avernum as soon as possible. Good luck to you. And somebody's mowing their dang lawn. Alright, gonna go close that window just a moment. Alright, that's better. So now we have stuff. There's a longsword. That all you have? One longsword? Okay. Has a stone short sword. And here's our character info screen. Let me check here. Melee weapons. Sigurd's actually pretty good with them. So we can give this and this stone short sword is much better than that, so we'll give that to him. That's a stone dagger. This is also a stone dagger. Alright. And let's go see who this is. Visitors' chambers. Feel free to rest here. Okay. There's several comfortable, unused beds in this room. Probably get a few hours of uninterrupted rest here if you want it. Yeah, we don't need it right now. You can leave one of your characters here for a while if you want to travel with a smaller party. We'll move on. So we don't really want to do that. Fort Avernum Barracks. There's a guard walking around. Always loot stuff. Take a look around. Nope, can't find anything. We'll move on. We'll ignore that trap. Now, if it's not it's people mowing the lawn, it's my stinking cat meowing a whole bunch. You meet a middle-aged woman who seems to be in a big hurry. Like everyone else you've met, she's extremely pale. She's holding a crude clipboard. What's a clipboard for? I'm in charge of supplies for the fort. The soldiers, they do their own cooking, but I'm the one they go to for the food, and weapons, and clothes. It's tedious work, but it keeps me busy as long as Theryl's dishing down here. There are soldiers down here? Yes, good lads and lasses, everyone. Well, most everyone, anyway. Between you and me, this best gets sent to the front. The front? To the north, where all the Nephilim are. What are Nephilim? Ah, the doom of all of us if the Sliths don't get us first. Lots of them have been sent down here along with the humans. Many migrate to lower caverns, but many more stay here, determined to take our land. A large tribe of them lives to the north. They don't arrive at Fort Avernum, by the way. They teleport in somewhere else. That's enough. There's more barracks. Walk in. See the map. Speaking of a map, where is my map? Okay. Step away from it. Got too close to that portal there. Oops. That was dumb. I tried to run into the door, that didn't work. Alright, these are all like private homes, I guess. Yeah, surface goods storage unauthorized. Keep out. And just sort of bonked into that and did damage to myself. Yeah, this is getting a little clunky. Give me a moment, I'm gonna try something. Oof. Yep. Decided to, we're gonna play the new game. It's a lot nicer. Same characters though. We've got, Luke, Philip, Sigurd, Nanid. Same characters. A little bit more of a different sort of skill system. And I'm pretty sure also going to get, we're going to get quest logs. Instead of starting out in a cavern, instead of starting out in the town, you start out in this cavern here. So we're probably going to see some combat shortly enough. Much to your great relief, you finally find signs of human occupation. The gallery to the west is blocked by a wall, rough stone blocks held together by crumbling mortar, and it looks like it has been here for years, abandoned and decaying, but it is something. Less reassuring is the pile of bones between you and the wall. They look like they may have come from a small humanoid, perhaps a goblin. They too have been here for a while. On the floor near them, somebody discarded a crude cloak, scraps of leather, roughly stitched together. On the surface, you would have ignored the disgusting thing. Down here, with the cold seeping into your bones, you decide you would be better off wearing it. I'm just G to get stuff. Cloak. Armor plus 2%. There you go. Just go ahead and equip that. Cloak is crude and dirty, but it is warm. You suspect that everything in the underworld is going to be crude and dirty, so you better start getting used to it. Just realized I put that on the wrong person. Alright, and everybody now has a shared inventory, so that's really nice too. On this side of the door, at last, you can hear people. You smell fresh smoke and hear the muttering of speech. You're too far away to make out what they're saying, but they are to the west. Keep moving west. If you want to switch back to the faster movement style of the previous Avernum games, you can change this in the settings window. And we have a map. Good to have a map. It's a big wall. There are 3 people ahead, crouched around a dim, smoky fire of burning fungus. They are rolling dice, gambling over a handful of copper coins and leather garments they scavenged in these caves. Then their sharp ears detect you. They leap to their feet and spin to face you, drawing their blades. They are Nephilim, scrawny and hungry specimens, but dangerous nonetheless. Nephilim are a proud tribal race that once filled the wild plains of the surface. Then the Empire began to remove them, sending the few that surrendered into Avernum and killing the rest. This has left them with a vicious hatred of humanity. Even though you share a common enemy, they are still determined to take their revenge upon you. About to enter combat mode. Here we go. Alright, so combat is tactical. You got a nice, it continues to have the nice grid system, and you just fight where you are walking. That's one of the things I loved about the Exile in this game. It's a little different when you're out in the overworld. It'll bring up a little combat arena, but in this one, this is how you do it. Okay, so let me check. I've got a sword. Well, I've got a dagger. Yay. You've got action points. Right now I have 8 action points. Each step you take, every move you make, every breath you take, I'll be watching you. But but they are... why'd you stand there? This guy... We'll pick up the good stuff after. We'll just go ahead and swing. And this is why it's always good to have a spellcasters here. Spellcasters are actually good. Your fighters will really suck at the beginning. So you want to have your spellcasters doing stuff. Okay. Okay, so he did. He did. And then that's a heal. I don't really need to heal yet. Okay, that's a curing spell. That's not going to do me much good. Smite. Just going to keep smiting. And let's try a... Summoning's always a fun. I like summoning spells. Cloak of Curses. Not that it matters, because they're just going to die in one hit anyway. When the fight's over, you can just end it. The 3 Nephilim have fallen, 3 senseless deaths. You suspect they were just sent down here through the same portal you came through. Usually the Empire sends down the Nephilim through a different portal to a different part of these caves, but of course Empire soldiers don't really care what undesirable goes where. Of course, it's also possible that the underworld is controlled by Nephilim, and you will soon be swarmed and enslaved, or worse. And just we're gonna get all our stuff. Dice are useless, boots are good. Wooden shield, leather armor, mug, copper coins are good, trash, broken pot, more leather armor, and a silver necklace. It doesn't have any ability, but it can be sold for stuff, so it's good to have. Right now we've got leather armor, he's got leather armor, everybody has leather armor. So this stuff we're pretty much all just going to sell. And this is hardly junk, but it's still going to sell it all anyway. I have 1 healing potion, so we're going to be relying on Sigurd to do our with his healing touch and whatever. Wooden shield. Go ahead and give him that wooden shield. So we've got all our stuff here. Oh, I can actually use the keyboard effectively this time. Ooh. Aha! Leather bracers and leather pants. Not even the Zerakai, wise as they are, have discovered the joy to be found in a truly well-tailored pair of pants. So the Nephilim, if you could tell, since the graphics were a little bit better in this one, the Nephilim are kitty people. They're cat people. The Slith Zerakai are lizard people. I mean, plenty of furries in this game. You don't get to play as them until number 2. Just kind of a shame. Like, I've always had it. In 2 onward, I always create a team of just all Slith Zerakai, because they're badass. Spells. Just to go ahead and throw fireballs and whatnot at these guys. Cloak of Curses lasts a little while, I guess. Daze. Oh, Daze is a big, nice range effect. Bop. They lose their turn. Oh, this status lasts until you return to town or cast a different cloak spell, so that's good. So this is always a good thing to have on. A nice buff. And yes, there is an MP system, so I'm, probably shouldn't just be spamming stuff like this. But you always get enough resting. Oh, there's still an enemy. All right, there's still enemies around. I'm gonna step a little bit closer. Cast protection. Everybody gets a shield. It lasts 4 turns, so it doesn't last as long. Call it. Well, let's just everybody have beat up on it. Oh, hey, there's stuff to find in there. We'll find that stuff later. combat, able to end combat yet. So we'll search this. Look at this, flawed crystal, a belt, a rock, Avernum's most plentiful natural resource. Flawed crystal again, crude leather gloves. Just basically the, oh, this is like half of that, so we'll go ahead and we're going to go ahead and move the gloves over this guy. Oh, I guess we don't have a shared pack. Everybody just has one healing potion. The junk bag is real handy. Just because when you're done you can click sell junk. Where's, oh, it's up there. Alright, well, fine. We'll run up again. More rats. Just go ahead and spam that. And, oh yeah, okay, go there. Only problem is Call Beast is it summons it right next to you. So it's not that handy all the time. Everybody. Nobody has any not spells, bows yet. Which kinda sucks. Another nice thing about this one is the you have a, everybody gets the same amount of experience every time. You don't have like in the Exile games. Oops, I don't want a rock. Go away. A limb, not helpful. Poor leather helmet. Go ahead and equip that. Bronze short sword. Yeah, he'll take the bronze short sword. I think everybody has a crude dagger, so that's kind of just going into the junk bag now. A crude bow. This one, you don't like. I usually just give everything to my first guy because I'm bad. But once you get to like bows and stuff, you want to actually check to see who is best with a bow. I'm gonna say probably Philip's gonna be best with a bow. Wait a second. No, he's not the best with a bow? She's good with a bow, which is also handy to have. I'm gonna give her the bow then. Have her hold the bow so that she doesn't just use mana all the time. See, that's a handy thing to do. And then there's stuff on the ground. Pick up the crystals. Go ahead and dump them in. And my lizard guy helper just disappeared. We'll call that for now. So this is actually going to be a little bit better. I've got the bigger game on now. I've played this one a little more recently. Still just like probably last year was the last time I played any of these. But this one is a lot nicer than the last one. I can see why he remade it. I do still miss the Exile series though. Despite how it's like had horrible graphics. And so I'm Jesse, and I'll see you next time.